Most people think wars are won by tanks, fighter jets, missiles, and special operations forces. And don't get me wrong, those things matter. They're impressive, they're powerful, and they're usually the things that get all the attention. But here's the thing, the side with the best weapons doesn't always win. The side that can keep those weapons fueled, supplied, repaired, and moving usually has a much better chance. The truth is, wars are often won long before the first shot is fired. They're won in warehouses, they're won at ports, they're won on railroads, highways, factories, and supply chains. And that's why logistics might be the most important weapon nobody talks about. When most people think about military power, they picture aircraft carriers, fighter jets, tanks, and missiles. Nobody gets excited about fuel trucks. Nobody hangs a picture of a warehouse on their wall. But every one of those impressive military systems depends on a massive network operating behind the scenes. A fighter jet cannot fly without fuel. A tank cannot move without parts. A ship cannot stay at sea forever without resupply. The things people don't see are often the things that matter most. Alright, now let me tell you something interesting. More than 2,000 years ago, military commanders were already struggling with the same problem. How do you keep an army moving once it leaves home? One of the most famous quotes in military history is often attributed to Napoleon. He said, "An army marches on its stomach." This quote is bigger than food, it's about logistics. Food, fuel, transportation, supplies, and also the ability to sustain operations. History keeps teaching us the same lesson over and over again. Armies that outrun their supply lines eventually run into trouble. There's a phrase often associated with General Omar Bradley. He said, "Amateurs talk strategy, professionals talk logistics. Strategy matters, tactics matter, leadership matters, but none of those things work very well when you're running low on fuel, ammunition, spare parts, and supplies." Modern military systems are more capable than ever, but they're also more complex than ever. A single fighter aircraft may require specialized maintenance crews, replacement components, software updates, technical support, and enormous amounts of fuel. And it's not just military operation. The same principles apply to businesses, manufacturing, transportation, and global supply chains. When people talk about power, they usually focus on what they can see. The aircraft, the ships, the vehicles, the technology. But real strength often comes from reliability, and those are the ability to keep going, the ability to adapt, the ability to sustain operations when things become difficult. Alright, so the next time you see a fighter jet, a tank, an aircraft carrier, or some new piece of military technology, remember there's an entire system supporting it behind the scenes. Thousands of people, millions of parts, countless miles of transportation networks. Because military power isn't just about having the best equipment. It's about keeping that equipment operational day after day. And that's why logistics doesn't just support wars. In many cases, logistics wins them.